Hello, good day to you, welcome, and this is Talkin Ready on Tuesday, the 15th of July. Hope you're well. Thanks for watching the video. We have a story here that's going to really annoy you, because it really annoyed me. Let's remind ourselves about what our lovely government and people in charge, what they really think about mobility, and in particular, this is the generic guy who allegedly is going to be, well, he ran for being Tory leader. Obviously didn't get it. Mr. Generic MP and his views on what he thinks disabled people get a car for.
Get this. The government is buying cars for people because they've got tennis elbow, constipation, anxiety, even food intolerances. It is a total scam, and it's operating in plain sight. Last year, 1 in 5 new cars in the UK was bought by the government effectively under its so-called Motability scheme, which was supposed to help people with serious disabilities. It is being totally abused, and the government, they won't even look into it.
So as we know, there is a target now. It's come round to Motability because they want to save money again. And of course, it's all indirectly attacking people with PIP, because you need to have PIP in order to get the car. Now, unfortunately, the idiots out there who think that you can get a car anything you like, when basically it's quite difficult to get a car, because you have to go through the whole process of PIP, and you have to get the 12 points plus in the mobility section. Unless you are not able to get around, that's the criteria. There are criteria that you have to match, some of which are things like planning a route, but mostly is about getting around, physically getting around. And if you can't do that, then you get the maximum points, which obviously then gives you the right to use your money. It's not free. The car is not free. You give your allowance and they give you a car. Now, if you want a bigger car, you want a better car, if you want a posher car, you're expected to pay the money extra. And the advance payment, 2, 3, 4,000 if you want a big car. If you want a BMW, something like that. Yes, you get perks with it because it's a scheme. It's a proper, managed scheme. You get tyres, servicing. You don't get fuel, which obviously is at a big expense, but why would you? You do get everything else because it's a car and it's on lease. It's a leased car. So if you were able-bodied, you could go to a garage, you could lease a car. So no different to that. This guy seems to think that anybody with a ingrowing toenail can get a car. Also, it is very much disingenuous that they are still going on about 1 in 5 of the vehicles are Motability. They're not. So basically, lies, more lies. More lies, I don't know. It is really just very annoying that this is going on, and we know why, because they're targeting Motability. Now, the point of this story is that what really annoyed me is that the BBC have had Heidi Alexander, who is the Transport Secretary, been on the show, and they are basically going to be giving out money for people to be able to get a car. If you can't afford a car, obviously specifically electric vehicles, if you can't afford a car or you can't get a charging point fitted, and this was an argument I had with Motability. Basically, they expected me to have an electric car and I can't have a charging point outside my house. Not allowed. I've already checked. So they're pushing electric cars, but there's no way that I could have one, and their answer was, go and sit in a car park. Why on earth would you do that? Waste your time having to go out and sit there for however long it takes Plus, of course, you've got the issues with, can you actually do it yourself if you're not mobile? Can you actually plug in and lift the cables? Can you actually do the machine? But they are actually going to be giving out money. So anybody that criticised Motability drivers for having a free car, yeah, they're hypocrites.
You would like all of us to buy more electric cars.
I would.
And at the moment, only 20% or so of new cars sold in this country are electric. They are expensive. They can be a bit of a hassle. If you live in a flat or you don't have a driveway, if you're not lucky enough to have a big, long driveway, it's not easy to plug your car in. So how are you going to get people to shell out the cash?
So there is some good news. In June of this year, 1 in 4 cars that was sold in the UK was an electric vehicle. And that over this year, that has gone up 35% on the previous year. So we're moving in the right direction. But we do need to make it easier and cheaper for people to buy an electric vehicle. So today we're announcing really big investment, £63 million in charging infrastructure across the country, £25 million for councils, so that people like me who don't have a driveway, I live in a terrace house, if I had an EV, I'd be asking myself questions about how I would get the electric cable across to the car.
So you don't have one. So the Transport Secretary doesn't have an electric car, but you're telling everyone else to have one.
I don't have an electric car, Laura, but I'm a lot like, millions of people in this country who I bought a new car about 6 years ago. I'm thinking about the next car that I will purchase, and it will definitely be an electric vehicle. I'm not in the habit of changing my car on a yearly basis, expensive as it is. And so that's why we're making £25 million available to councils so that they can provide financial support to households who want to put in a cross-pavement gully so that you can safely run the cable across the pavement. We're also investing £30 million in depot charging infrastructure and also making sure that public organisations like the NHS have the charging infrastructure there as well.
But making it easier to plug in might not be enough. I mean, are you going to do something a bit more radical? There were reports this morning suggesting actually there might be hundreds of millions of pounds available to give people grants. So are you going to help people shell out for one, and how much cash might be on the table?
So we are going to be making some announcements later this week on how we make it more affordable for people to buy an electric vehicle.
So there will be grants.
We recognise that the high upfront purchase cost of EVs is something, alongside the charging infrastructure, that puts people off.
Their upcoming announcements are they're probably going to give money, but you have to have an electric car. They're still pushing this idea when the industry itself is saying that they're not working, they're not selling. And I would argue that the figures that she's quoting are exaggerated figures. I don't believe that's how many cars are being sold. But if they are, then it's because there's no choice. They've removed the choice of car. I hope you're annoyed as I am, because I'm just fuming. Right, that is it. Have a very good day. See you next time. Bye for now.